Hello book fam, I'm back with another bookish video. I hope all of you are doing well during this terrible period of self-isolation that we find ourselves in. During this period I decided to make a lot more booktube videos, so hopefully you will enjoy the content that I'm going to be putting up quite often. As you can see, I am in a new space because of the recent life change of being married. I have made this space quite like mine. I have a little book cart here which I'll probably show you sometime during another video of a bookish tour of my bookshelves. In the meantime, let me get back and show you the books that I'm planning to read during this period of self-isolation. You don't obviously have to read any of these, they're all from diverse genres, but you might find something interesting. So the first book that I'm currently reading is by Yoko Ogawa and it is The Memory Police. This has been doing the rounds on Instagram for the longest time. Memory Police is basically about this island where people who inhabit the island tend to forget things because there are mystical forces that work and make you forget things like what a bird is and what a ribbon is, and every other day things start to disappear and you forget the concept of bird because that is the creature that flies in the sky, for instance, and you don't really know what that is after a point. You forget. People who tend to remember things and don't forget things, they are hunted down by the memory police who are kind of reminiscent of the Nazis. They are suited and booted men and they walk around the island hunting down people. The narrator is a writer. She is trying to write a novel alongside all of this that's happening, but obviously she tends to forget things as well. So one day her editor is being hunted down and she wants to help him, so she hides him with the help of this old man who is also her friend, and try to hide him and keep him safe from the memory police and from being discovered. So it also has like book thief vibes, and basically dystopian is kind of dark and it's not really something you want to read if you want to escape from the present situation. But if you are a fan of dystopian fiction and you love reading books like Station 11 during this time, then you might want to consider picking this up. It is a Japanese translation and it is written really well, I think, and I'm enjoying it, but I probably need to read it again in order to put things together and see where this is going, because sometimes I do find myself feeling like there are loopholes and asking questions like, what's the point of this whole thing? What's the point of people forgetting things, and why do they forget things? What's the motive with which she's actually writing this novel? So things like that. I'm halfway through. We'll come back with a full review once that's done. Second, I also bought Hollow City, which is the second novel in the series of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I loved the first novel. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So I'm hoping that the second novel will be as good. I just started reading this, but somehow I'm feeling like the narrative isn't as fast-paced as the first one. But I'm hoping it'll pick up as I move along. But there are lovely vintage pictures and there are fantastical elements, so those two work really well together. You have the same familiar faces, I mean people in the narrative, like, you know, Jacob and his friends. There's Emma, and apparently in this book he has to come to a resolution about his feelings for Emma, and he has to take a decision about whether he wants to stay in the loop or he wants to leave and go back to his parents. And they also go to London, so there's an adventure involved and they have to like figure out how to turn Miss Peregrine, who's become a bird, into a woman again. So I'm looking forward to reading it because I think this would be a good escape as well, like from what's going on right now. So yeah, that's this. And another book I'm planning to read is Bridge to the Soul. This was gifted to me by a friend for my wedding, and I think the poetry of Rumi is very intense and probably needs you to really read it again and again in order to figure out the meaning. I do find it slightly more challenging than the rest of the poetry that I've read. Sometimes I just open it and read a poem. I think it demands a lot of engagement, so I am looking to have some time to do this as well in the days to come, just for like a refreshing change from reading fiction and novels. The next book that I want to read during this period is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I recently got this. I've seen this on lists of books you have to read before you die, 100 books you must read, and all those kinds of lists. So it's a really popular book, and I think it's been made into a movie recently, and it's about a father-son and their relationship. And I've seen a lot of fathers give this book to their daughters and they both loved the book, and you know, things like that. So I'm curious. And it's also, I think, a travelogue in some sense because they journey across America, and apparently it's burning. I'm really curious to see. I think it'll be a little philosophical as well, but I hope it's not going to be as philosophical as Motorcycle Diaries. But anyway, looking forward to this. And of course, the final book, which I think a lot of you might have read already, is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. So I've already read Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Backman, and I really liked it. But I also find his writing style to be slightly simplistic, which I think is okay if you're looking for a quick escape and a popcorn read and, you know, maybe like a feel-good book. I'm looking forward to maybe picking this up one of these days. This is about a man who's kind of a grumpy old person, but then I think there are things that he wants the world to be like, and eventually his ideas do turn out to be really good once they get implemented, and he does go through this transformative experience, which is what I'm expecting from this book. But I think it's going to be slightly emotional. A lot of people have said that they cried when they read this. Let me know if you cried when you read this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear which of these books sound interesting to you and which you would like to pick up during this period of self-isolation. If you ever want to like chat, I'm on Instagram, so please feel free to DM me there and say hello, and we can have a little bookish chat. So if you like this video, please like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I will be back soon with more bookish videos. See you. Bye.